I'm going to tell you how all this really began.
Take your seats, grab some popcorn, and buckle up as we dive into the history of Call of Duty Zombies. Today, my friend and I, together, rank every single Treyarch Zombies map. Will we be able to find common ground, or be driven by our own opinions and fight for the better spot? Only time will tell as we dive into the 37 maps the Zombies mode has to offer. As always, enjoy. While he's munching away, we will start off with Nacht, Der Toten.
Oh yeah, I got my potato chips with the what is it called? The bison dip. Ooh, so good. It's literally crack. Like they sprinkle crack in this. I know they do.
All right, it's S tier then.
Oh yeah, no, this is an S tier like snack.
And now it's a snack tier ranking.
Well, that's another video, I guess.
Starting off with the first Zombies map ever, Nacht. I feel like people let nostalgia blind them when it comes to ranking this map, and I don't think we should be the ones to fall under that spell.
No, I think that like this map, it's the OG, like sure, but like compared to like what Zombies has become, it's just it's that little map that you come back to, just be like, oh, this was the first map, but like in reality, it's not very good compared to the newer maps.
I mean, realistically, I might have to put it D tier. I mean, there's nothing special to it.
I would agree with that pick. It was made as an Easter egg originally. I mean, it was just like, what did you do? You completed the like campaign, right, or something?
Yeah, for World at War. So.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't made to be like a selling point. It was just like a cool feature.
But alright, on to, I guess you can say, the first real Zombies map that was made for the mode, knowing it would continue, is Verruct. We got to acknowledge first map that introduced perks and a power switch. But yeah, I mean, this map is pretty challenging, and a lot of people stray away from it because of that. But I mean, I don't think that just means it deserves a bad ranking, but the map itself is not much better than Nacht. Yeah, I mean, I think it's just going to go right above Nacht in the D tier.
Yeah. I think Verruct has some like really good atmosphere. I think that out of like all the zombie maps, I think it's like one of the few that is like, it's actually kind of scary. Just like the ambiance, like I don't know, just like the screaming and shit. It's pretty scary.
That and the close corners, so like you really got to be careful with where you're going. If you're trying to go get a perk mid round on round 15, it could be a death sentence. Like you really got to be careful what you're doing.
No, I definitely want to try and do a high round on there. I feel like that'd be fun.
Speaking of high rounds, it's a great segue into Shi No Numa, our next map, which is the easiest map to get high rounds on if you're playing World at War version. This map had the Wonder Waff for the first time, the first new wonder weapon since the ray gun on Nacht. It's a decent map. It's fun. I think it's underrated for sure. As I've heard other YouTubers say, it's probably the least played out of the World at War maps, which I think, like you said, the atmosphere of Verruct probably is what wins it over Shi No Numa.
Yeah, no, I think Verruct is definitely better than Shi No Numa.
So you think Verruct is better than Shi No Numa, correct?
Yeah.
Or I think Shi No Numa is above Verruct due to its high round capabilities that your Verruct doesn't have. So this is the first one we have to find middle ground in, because I would put it at the bottom of C tier.
Really? You put it at the bottom of C tier?
But I would do top of D tier.
We can meet at top of D tier.
The next map would be pretty easy to rank.
Riese. Yeah, I think this is where things got like interesting.
Well,
Once
yeah,
we had the Pack-a-Punch. Yep.
I mean, I think the layout of the map's really nice. I mean, obviously there's the camping spot on Nacht and like the upstairs second floor. Verruct, there's a lot of places you can camp. Shi No Numa is more of a training map, but I think Riese with the catwalk, I mean, that established like camping.
I think too, like the map kind of started the whole doing challenges because you had like a challenge to do. I think that kind of gets followed in the later maps, that you have these challenges to unlock like specialist weapons, wonder weapons, get like more perks, stuff like that.
I think everyone knows that Riese is it's a fan favorite, and it's a very fun map to play. You also have the teddy bear Easter egg. Everyone loves this map, so I would say A tier. That'd be my opinion.
Wait, is the giant not in here?
Yeah, no giant.
Oh, okay, so it's combined. So yeah, A tier.
Moving on to Black Ops 1, we start off with Kino Der Toten. I think really started off training in Zombies maps with the stage. Syndicate got around 100 on Kino back in the day.
I remember that was like such a big deal.
I think the layout's nice. It's pretty simple. Definitely a little more complex than any of the other maps so far. The Thunder Gun, yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's one of the most popular wonder weapons.
I think another reason it's so popular too is because of it's the free map on BO1.
I think Kino is a little overrated.
Yeah, I don't think it's the best map. I think it's a little overrated too.
I would think it might be very debatable, but I would think it's at the top of B tier.
I would be. I think that's a good pick. It's definitely not my favorite. I'd rather play like some of these other maps on the list.
Moving on to 5. Definitely one of my least favorite maps, so I'm going to put that bias aside. You have the Pentagon Thief. Annoying as fuck,
Oh
but
yeah.
very cool mini boss. This map first introduced the Winter's Howl, but for me, I would go with C tier.
We can go like bottom of like C tier. One thing I think is amazing though is like the cast they have.
All right, Ascension. I think Ascension is a pretty cool map. But you got the annoying little shits known as the monkeys in this one instead of dog rounds.
Oh, those are annoying.
Yeah, I mean you had PhD in Ascension, which I think which was the first map with PhD. I know that perk is beloved by the community, and we never really get to see it. First main Easter egg ever, so that gives it some
That's
points.
important. I'd put it like high C, maybe in B. So I mean, it's not like bad. I mean, I don't know, maybe B, like below like Kino.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think it's better than Kino. I think we'll figure out where it sits in B tier eventually, but for right now, under Kino, definitely. Next, we're on to Mr. Sexify's favorite map, Call of the Dead. Definitely a fantastic celebrity cast.
Yeah.
Absolute dog shit wonder weapons. So, yeah, that definitely brings it lower down on the list for me. George
I think it
Romero,
was-
though, as the boss,
yeah.
that's pretty damn cool. I think that's probably my favorite thing about the map. It can be a little annoying, but like, I don't think we really see many things like that anymore in zombies with a boss that's like really hard to kill, but it's not too much of an inconvenience, but it stays around for many rounds if you don't kill him. And he drops a wonder weapon once you kill him, the Wonder Waff, so.
I do think the setting is like pretty cool on this map.
But yeah, Call of the Dead, not S or A for me.
I could throw it in B. I think it's a B tier map.
Above or below Ascension?
Whatever you're thinking.
I think for right now we'll keep it below Ascension.
Alright.
All right, this one's gonna be pretty easy for me. I hate Shangri-La. This is where I will put my bias into play. I will say the setting of Shangri-La is very nice.
Indiana Jones kind of feel.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking. You do the baby gun, which is one of the coolest wonder weapons in zombies. I know this map is not anyone's favorite out of Black Ops 1 because of how hard it is. I would take challenging maps over easy maps for zombies. But yeah, I mean Shangri-La for me, I would probably put it. And I don't want to put my bias too much into play here. I think I'd put it at the bottom of C tier. I don't think it's a bad map by any means. It has a lot of cool features and things about it, but maybe the top of D tier.
I'm thinking the top of D tier.
Top of D tier.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll have to see. It could be C, but right now, well, I guess we'll put it at top of D.
Ooh, Moon.
Now, Moon. I know Moon is ironically very split amongst the community. For clarification, we're both 19, so I think I started playing zombies around Black Ops 2.
Damn.
And I didn't like Moon on Black Ops 1, probably because it was too hard for me at the time. But I adored when it got remastered for Zombies Chronicles, and it made me appreciate it way more. You have the wave gun, one of the best wonder weapons in zombies.
This the Area 51 starting area.
You also have the hacker, which I think is very cool.
The Easter egg. The end of the Easter egg. Blowing up the Earth and just setting up the entirety of BO2.
It's very true. Moon, I don't know. Moon's just an all-around great map. I think it deserves A tier.
I think so too.
Probably above Doris, just due to probably having that Easter egg.
As great as Doris is, kind of clouds my judgment because how much I played it. But I do
Yes.
think Moon is a better map.
The next map, though, this is where it gets interesting. This map is always put at the very bottom. It's absolutely shit on, which I think for the most part it's deserved. I think Tranzit is very minor amount underrated because it definitely does not live up to its full potential. I mean, you have some really cool things. It's like kind of like an open world map in a way, just being able to run through the fog with the stupid ass denizens, which everyone hates. We have the bus. You have the jet gun.
Yeah.
It's the wonder weapon.
Yep.
That thing's dog shit. So that another thing that failed with that map.
Me personally, I think Tranzit was just ahead of its time. I think it could have been an amazing map, but I think their vision was just a little too great for what the PS3 and the Xbox 360 could deliver for that generation. That's why they had to put in the fog, and then that's why they had the lava and denizens, because all the fog and all that is just trying to slow you down, and so like everything can load in time. But I think it's probably gonna be, it might be like D tier.
I think honestly, as much as I was gonna think it's underrated, you know, what would I play over Transit? Would I play Nacht over Transit? Yes, probably. So I think it might be the bottom of D tier. And moving on to another map, which I think will be, for me personally, very low rated, is Nuketown Zombies. I think this map is horrible. It doesn't feel like it's like a true zombies map in my opinion. It's like kind of like an extra sort of like project to zombies, because like the perks fly down from the sky like every 5 rounds or whatever it is. You can get Jug in like round 20. It's pretty darn small, so it's not much room to work with. I think it's a great challenge map.
I think I'll let you rate it because I think I've played this map like maybe once.
All right, and it will fly down to the F tier because I would definitely play Transit over Nuketown Zombies because there's some enjoyment with Transit. Then there's really no enjoyment for me when it comes to Nuketown Zombies. And speaking of no enjoyment, we're moving on to Die Rise.
Die Rise, let's go.
I think the setting is pretty damn cool. Sliquifier, great wonder weapon. But yeah, Die Rise, pretty shit. Great wonder weapon, but the map itself is, you could die very easily. You do the trample steam, which helps get across from building to building.
That shit's like hard to use though. Like you could so easily miss and just die.
You don't even have PhD in this map, which is a complete middle finger to the player base because this map is like designed for PhD.
Oh, when they throw it in your face when you're going down the elevator too.
It's either the end of D or the top of F.
We'll put it at the top of F.
Okay, where it deserves. You could start off the next one here, Mob of the Dead.
Ooh, this one's a big one for me because when I had Black Ops 2, I didn't really understand the whole like season pass thing with the maps. And like all my friends had the season pass, and I would go over and play. But the only map I ever got when I was younger was Mob of the Dead. So yes, nostalgia is driving me a little bit here, but I see why people, I think Origins, like, you know, you have Mob of the Dead and you have Origins as like most people's like top maps. I think Origins objectively is a better map, but I think Mob of the Dead, just the atmosphere, you're on Alcatraz, the legend itself, the story of the people escaping Alcatraz and they never found them. And they took that and they put it into Mob of the Dead and like almost 1-for-1 recreated Alcatraz Island and you're just on it. I think that is one of the coolest concepts for a zombies map like ever. I think it's the coolest concept.
I mean, Bus Depot's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, Bus Depot. Like, yeah, God, that's a classic story, you know.
Oh yeah,
the Bus Depot. Oh yeah, that one's a legend.
But yeah, I mean, Mob of the Dead, you get the Blunder Gat, like one of the coolest wonder weapons, because you can make the Acid Gat and
shoots out like monkey bombs.
Yeah, and then you got Hell's Retriever.
Oh yeah, that's what started the whole specialist weapons too.
I know it's really hard to beat the atmosphere of Mob of the Dead. There are some good runner-ups we're going to be touching on here as we run into the end of Black Ops 2 and Black Ops 3, but Mob of the Dead definitely is pretty historic for the zombies community. It is Jason Blundell's first map as well. But yeah, I mean, I think just judging how we talked about it, it's probably an S tier. I don't think anyone will object.
Yeah, no, S tier.
All right, S tier you shall go. And then on to another very fun map, Buried. I think everyone loves an underground western city feel. That's pretty cool.
That was a really cool idea.
I mean, yeah, you have the paralyzer.
It's literally like the jet gun, but like you just like made it a good gun. It doesn't break.
And you can fly.
Like, and you can fly.
And you have Leroy, of course. Can't forget about him.
Leroy Jenkins.
If you ever look close enough while doing the wolf bow under Eisendrache, Leroy's actually in one of the paintings. Buried, I would say, is probably an A tier map. I mean, it's...
I would say A tier, yeah. I don't think it's S tier, but...
Don't know if I put it above Moon. Definitely above Derice.
Yeah.
Overall fun map. Really, really fun. But on to probably the most beloved zombies map of all time. Origins.
Origins. Well, first, I think the new storyline kind of like reset the storyline with this one.
Yes, he introduced to a younger Ultimus crew, which then turned into Primus crew. I mean, man, you get the 4 staffs. The Panzer. Probably one of the scariest, but also one of my favorite bosses in zombies. A really well done Easter egg.
That's probably like the most fun Easter egg. I don't
You
know.
got the tank, the Maxis drone. And I think another map I think that was ahead of its time for the capabilities of what they were going for in Black Ops 2, but obviously with Zombies Chronicles, I feel like Origins was able to live up to its full potential. I don't think it's that much better, not much of a difference between the two, but I think I feel like Origins was made for Black Ops 3. A great map. I think it's also S tier.
Yeah.
Onto probably another S tier map. Shadows of Evil.
Shadows of Evil.
And honestly, besides Mob of the Dead, I feel like Shadows of Evil was the only other map really that had a cast where I feel like people still remember and actually like looking back on. You got Beast Mode in Shadows, you got great Easter egg, ending cutscene set up all of the story for the Black Ops 3. You got the train system, Rocket Shield, first map with Gobblegums. There's so many things. This map was not liked at first, but is beloved now, and it's definitely S tier.
No, definitely.
Der Eisendrache. Again, another 2.0 map, Origins 2.0. This map is also pretty damn good. I would also say S tier. I mean, you got the 4 bows, got the Ragnarok's as specialist weapon.
Probably the best specialist weapon.
First map ever with a boss fight, and you get a great Easter egg with this map. Black Ops 3 is where I can say, speak for both, don't I? That's the game we've played the most zombies.
Definitely have the most time played on that game, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Der Eisendrache is not much more to say. I mean, it's S tier. It's got the Panzer again. The rocket test launch is pretty cool. Treyarch really wanted to start off Black Ops 3 very strong. But now we're on to a very controversial pick and a very underrated map, in my opinion, is Zetsubou No Shima. I think this map's atmosphere, like the spiders, like is so different. Yeah, the Nova crawlers or the flies in Shadows of Evil, but like, I don't know, spiders, it was so different. The Skull Non-Stopway, another great specialist weapon. The KT-4, Slickle Fire 2.0, so a great wonder weapon. I will say the map has too many doors, so you spend a lot of time opening doors.
Too many things to do sometimes. There's like a lot going on.
Yeah, you got the seeds, the waters, the Easter egg did get solved in like 24 hours, I'm pretty sure. So the Easter egg's not very hard at all. The trials can be tedious. It is cool that there's 2 boss fights, especially that the final boss fight's not very difficult.
I think it's all right. I think it's probably the worst out of all of them, out of all the BO3 maps.
That, I don't think anyone debates that one. I think either bottom of A tier or top of B. I think top of B is probably more fair.
I just think it would be it has like a good aesthetic. I like the little mini boss of the spider. You're gonna get free Widow's Wine or whatever, but I think there's just too much going on sometimes when you're setting up, and it can be a lot.
But yeah, I think top of B. It's a pretty good ranking. This is where you love Mob of the Dead. I love Gorod Krovi. Probably my favorite map of Black Ops 3. I just love being in Stalingrad. I think that's really cool. You got the 3rd iteration of the Ray Gun Mark III, not the best wonder weapon. It obviously falls off.
I agree about the setting, though. Stalingrad, it was the most deadly battle ever.
But yeah, you got Flying Dragons, which definitely was not in the battle. And flying on a dragon to pack a punch is cool. You got a really fun Easter egg. I think probably one of the best Easter eggs ever. An amazing boss fight. I mean, it also set up, Revelations. First introduction to Dr. Monty. I don't think it's S tier, as much as I think it's my favorite map of Black Ops 3. I think it's top of A.
Yeah, I agree.
Now onto Revelations. There's a lot of good and a lot of bad, and I think the good outweighed the bad until Zombies Chronicles dropped. At first, I think it was really cool. You brought a lot of maps together from all the games. In the central hub was Nacht, kind of paying tribute to this is where it started. Zombies and stuff, that's really cool. You could upgrade the Apothecant Servant. You had a Thunder Gun. You had a lot of freaking OP shit in this map. The God Mask, the little Arnie's, Ragnaroks.
It's definitely the easiest map in BO3.
I think it sort of fell off once Zombies Chronicles dropped, and we got a lot of the remastered maps were from Revelations, so it kind of felt like we already had a glimpse of it. So looking back at Revelations kind of falls flat. I was like getting from point A to point B in the map's pretty good, going through Nacht and the teleporters.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like cool with all the old maps and stuff, but like at the end of the day, I don't know. It feels kind of like just kind of lazy to me. I feel like they could have done something way cooler, like an original map.
The Easter egg is a little complex, and there are like 2 boss fights. It's probably also B tier right above Zetsubou, because I think it's definitely man.
I don't know. I feel like as great as Revelations is, like it's not like an original map at all. Like I feel like we were trying to avoid the nostalgia, and like Revelations heavily relies on nostalgia.
True.
If you like,
True.
If you like, you went into that without like knowing any of the other maps, like it'd be kind of weird. I'd put it bottom of B tier, maybe even like C tier. We'll put it top of C. I will say it is like really fun, but like it's a great casual map, but like it's not very original.
All right, Blood of the Dead. Not very liked at all. Extremely hard Easter egg. There's not very much I need to say about this map. It's not as good as the OG Mob of the Dead.
It's like, very disappointing.
I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I think I personally think it should go in the bottom of C.
Yeah, I was thinking C too.
Definitely play Blood of the Dead over Shangri-La. It was cool playing his premise on this map, but the OG crew Mob of the Dead is definitely better suited for it. Classified. I think it's definitely a better map than 5. Winter's Howl was a little bit, it was actually good. No Pentagon Thief, that's kind of a downgrade. But I think what Classified was going for, I think it just works better than 5. The Easter egg obviously is nothing crazy. You should get to like
150.
Yeah, 150, 155, whatever it is for the Easter egg cutscene, which was really dumb.
I think it's just a slightly better 5.
Yes, but I think it just stays in C tier, right above 5. And now we're on the Voyage of Despair. Yeah, I would have wished this concept could have been up there with Mob of the Dead, with being one of the best concepts for a map, because being in the Titanic, man, dude, that was crazy figuring that out.
Yeah, I was pretty hyped for it because like I think it's one of those like big stories, you know, like the Titanic, the escape from Alcatraz. Like it's like one of those like iconic stories in history. Man, they kind of blew it.
Yes, the Wonder Weapon dog shit. Layout of the map is kind of wonky at times.
VO4 itself was just kind of annoying.
I also think getting introduced to I get trying to go somewhere new with the Chaos crew, but I think we're kind of blue-balled because like the end of Black Ops 3, I think we're all very curious about how's the premise story going to continue, which we did get, but Blood of the Dead took place in between Zetsubou and Gorod Krovi, and Classified obviously also had to, lended a helping hand in continuing on the Ether story, but I feel like we could have just had this whole game be Ether. I think it would have done better.
The story was just kind of all over the place. There's too much going on.
Like why we would have 2 stories going back to back made no sense to me.
I put it in like the D tier. Maybe even, I don't know, it might even be lower. Yeah, we'll put it in that tier.
Yeah, probably at the top because I would play it over Die Rise and Nuketwon. Now onto the one launch map for BO4 that did really well for the community, and that is 9, which I think is my favorite map of Black Ops 4.
I think it was a really good map.
The setting's awesome.
Like Coliseum.
Yep. The Wonder Weapon's sort of like a rip-off Wonder Waff. The Easter egg's fun, not gonna lie. I like doing the Easter egg in that map.
The Easter egg was good, yeah.
I think this map's definitely A tier. I would not put it above Gorod Krovi.
Maybe
maybe the bottom?
Bottom of A, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd play it above those maps.
Now, we are moving on to 2 maps that Dylan and I both never played.
So we'll go by which one looks cooler. Yeah, I don't know. Ancient Evil's probably going to go above for me because it's in, like, Greece.
I think, just judging by the community, I'm gonna put Dead of the Night. I know Ancient Evil usually is an A tier map for people. I'm gonna put it probably at the bottom of B, just 'cause I don't want to put it above anything else. 'Cause I don't know, obviously haven't played it. And I'll put Dead of the Night probably above Blood of the Dead, but bottom of C. Haven't even played the map, but I'm gonna say it's better than Blood of the Dead. Sadly, I'll have to say I was definitely more in a Fortnite mood at that time, especially with the community kind of slowly getting off the Black Ops 4 hype train with the disastrous launch of the game. And with Dead of the Night not even having a trailer. So, however, we did play Alpha Omega.
Yes, we did.
Definitely was a better iteration of Nuketwon Zombies.
It was straight out of, like, Blackout.
And I will say there was a lot of hype for this map. It was continuing the Ether story, but it's the fact that it was a remaster.
Oh, I think, wasn't every map in BO4 a remaster besides the Chaos story?
For the Ether storyline, yes. But yeah, I mean, Alpha Omega it's pretty bad.
Wonder Weapon was just an elemental ray gun Mark II. It's just not even like an original gun. I'd say it's like probably like D tier.
Probably below Tranzit, D tier.
Yeah.
Kino Der Toten, I know this map is another map which you didn't play. We played it once actually, but again, another freaking remaster.
It's just not original like at all.
Yes, I'd probably put it above Alpha Omega. We can come back and do another ranking video in the future once we play these maps fully. But yeah, that's put a seal on Black Ops 4. Moving on to, I would say, a very well-rounded map, which is a remaster, but I think what was done right was D Maschine. A lot of new mechanics. You know, D Maschine, you got introduced to the best version of the ray gun ever. The DIE wonder weapon's alright, it's nothing crazy. And instead of making Nacht the focal point of the map, you know, you had the bunker, the outside areas. It didn't feel like we were playing Nacht or Toten too much, right?
Nah.
That was what they did right with this map.
One thing I will say that I didn't like was how, like, I mean, while the mechanics were great, and they were, I just didn't like the progression, how they changed the progression system. You, like, upgraded your perks, like, outside of, like, the game. Like, it was a cool idea, but, like, I would have rather had, like, something in-game to upgrade.
Man, if you just mixed Cold War's mechanics with Black Ops 3's gameplay, it would have been a beautiful game. D Maschine probably is top of B tier for me. You know what? Probably would put it in between Kino and Ascension.
I could go with that, yeah.
Firebase Z, this one will be a little more biased to me than you, because I did a lot of speed runs on this map alongside Gorod Krovi, which is why I love Gorod Krovi. But I did countless speed runs for the Easter egg in Firebase Z. The Ray K, machine gun, ray gun. It was an okay wonder weapon. I think high rounds on the map were kind of hard. The Easter egg was pretty easy. The Mimic Boss Zombie was kind of annoying. I would probably say, for me personally, I'd put this at the bottom of B.
We could do it. I didn't really like Firebase Z, but we'll put it at the bottom of B for you.
It was first original map in ages, right? So it wasn't a remaster. So it has that. Voyage of Toten. And I know people say this is the best map of Cold War, but I would say I enjoyed Firebase Z and D Maschine over it.
Yeah, I think so too.
I would probably put this somewhere in C tier. The wonder weapon's kind of weird.
I thought it was just a weird map, so.
The setting's sick in Berlin, but probably would put it below Blood of the Dead.
Yeah, no, bottom of C.
I don't know if did you ever play Outbreak?
No, I didn't. What game was that in?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I just think this was a pretty cool idea. Could have been a little more fast-paced and offered more objectives, but it was definitely something new to see for zombies, and it could have been bigger than it was. But I think for me, I'd probably put it... I think I'd probably put it at the top of D tier, because I just think it was a very cool concept, but could have been better, and I definitely would play Mauer or Blood or Dead of the Night or 5 in any of those maps above Outbreak.
Town. Oh, this map was amazing. Again, when I was younger, I didn't have all the DLCs, so I had Tranzit and I had Mob of the Dead. We never played Tranzit because it was bad, but we played Town so much. We'd hang out with our friends and we would all sit down and play some split screen Town, and just something about it, how simple it was, how casual it was, and just extremely well made. I think it definitely goes in A tier. I don't think it has enough in the map to go to S tier, but I think it is one of the best casual maps like ever made.
I think the fair way to rank this one would be put it either below or above Riese, just as they're both the similar casual maps in a way, or even above Moon.
I would put it above Moon. That's just me, though.
I think I can go on board with that, because I love Riese. It's very nostalgic for me, but I think Town, you can have a lot of fun in that one. It's different. It's a vibe that is hard to beat. Bus Depot, this is going to be pretty damn easy. F tier.
Yes. Terrible.
I would put it above Nuketown Zombies, not going to lie. For some reason, I just would somehow play Bus Depot over Nuketown and Die Rise. Farm, I feel like we're on the same path here. Farm, kind of the same thing.
I'd say it's one above Bus Depot.
Yes. And Foresaken, it was the final map in Cold War. I did play this one. It wasn't a great conclusion to Cold War, I think, especially after coming off Mauer. I was expecting a little bit, I thought they could have ended a little bit better than they did with Foresaken. The wonder weapon's kind of cool, but the layout's like weird. Wasn't too fond of it, and I think that this map just, no one really, I don't know, I just don't think it was anything special. So I think, for me personally, I'm going to put it at the top of, actually I'll put it below Voyage of Despair and F tier, because I just don't think this map's anything special. And then to our final map, Foresaken, I think it's also below Voyage of Despair. Yeah.
I was literally about to make the same joke.
But yeah, I think the only thing we really need to tackle or look at is just take a little scan of where these maps are in the tiers, see if we're satisfied.
The one thing I don't know about is D Maschine. I don't know if I would play D Maschine over Ascension and Call of the Dead.
Let's do the middle ground here, since I would play it over those two. Just me, so I did around 100s and stuff on that map. I'm gonna put it in between Ascension and Call of the Dead.
That's fair.
Looking back at Blood of the Dead, does it stay in C tier or do we move it down to D?
We could move it down to D. Why not?
Personally, I'd play Outbreak over Blood of the Dead, so I probably would put it right below Outbreak.
F tier is terrible. They all suck. If they're not in the right order, that's okay, because I'm never gonna play any of them. I think too, like, a lot of these maps, like, even though they may be in like the C or the D, like, I don't know, sometimes it may just be like the mood I'm in. Like, I might go back and play some Verruct or some Nacht, but I think like out of the maps we have played, I think this is a pretty good estimation. I mean, some things are going to be like definitely like could be argued to be moved all over the place, but I think like generally towards the top and the bottom, I think like our picks are pretty solid.
I'm pretty satisfied with this list. In the future, if you made it this far in the video, we'll be playing the rest of either the Cold War or Black Ops 4 maps, doing their Easter eggs, maybe probably making videos out of them, and then we want to come back and do a tier ranking, but instead it'll be separate, and then at the end we come back and we discuss each other's rankings, and we can just see the difference and bash each other on our picks. So hit the subscribe button if you shall want to. Any final words for you, Dylan?
Subscribe or I'm gonna leak it to the press. You know what I'm talking about. Like, you know, that secret you've had, you don't want anybody to know. Like, I know what it is, and I will leak it to the press. If you don't subscribe, I mean, actions will be taken. So I would be careful.
And then I'll fuck your mom.